then speaking of we're on the same gang, which brings me to Uncle Sam Curse, because I wanted to tie something in with the Who Ride having Tone Loc on there. Because
Right.
when I first heard of We're on the Same Gang, and then I heard the record, the song,
Mhm.
I wanted you to explain, being more on the gangster side, why you think the Digital Undergrounds, the Oaktown 357, the MC Hammer, the Body and Souls, even Tone Loc, I know is a street dude, but he's not
Mhm.
perceived that way. Why do you think?
Right. Exactly.
Why do you think the balance of the non-gangster rappers and the super gangster rappers on that song works so well?
Well, I think because we're talking about our environment, first of all. From when you grow up in Southern California in that era, whether you was and not in a gang, you're most likely from a neighborhood and you affiliated with that gang. So if you were Def Jeff and you lived in this area, you was affiliated with that gang. So you was impacted by it. I don't care what you were rapping about. If you was Tone Loc and you was from this area of the city, you were affiliated with that gang. So it impacted you. You know, most of the people that were the gangster hardcore rappers on it were in the mix in the 80s. The other people that were on the record were affected by gang violence growing up in Southern California, or Northern California, as far as that's concerned. And I think that's why it made more sense. My Concepcion put it together where I think he wanted everybody's perspective. He didn't just want none people that saying, he wanted the guys to break it down and explain like why we have to be conscious to it. All of us do. All of us have to be conscious that, hey, you got to make a change. You got to do something different. You know what I mean? Those for the guys that are directly involved and affiliated, and the guys that are, actually affected by what happens, be it because a lot of those cats that you consider being they got cousins that's gang banging. They got, they got brothers, sisters, that's gang banging. It's generational at that point.
Yeah, and bringing back Michel'le's on there too. So there you go.
There you go. Yeah.
So then with Tone Loc, I didn't understand till later his street ties and all that stuff. But for you, with Who Ride on Uncle Sam's Curse, since he and Cocaine on that song, as a producer, as a rapper, what made you want to reach out in '94 to get Tone Loc on Who Ride?
Well, Tone Loc's a really good friend. He's really good friends with Law. And he always was around us when we were doing Living Like Hustlers. But, Wild Thing and Funktail Medina was so huge. He was always touring. We never could get him on a record, you know what I'm saying, in that time frame. We couldn't really, he's always around and all over the place. By the time we started doing Uncle Sam, he kind of was in the chill place, so we were able to have him come down and do the record with us. That's just how it happened. You know what I mean? We always at Loc'ed's house. We always did picnics, barbecues. We had celebrity football games, celebrity basketball games. We played against each other. I click, their click, West Side Tribe, and the Pimp Clinic. So, so we all were friends, and a lot of us have mutual friends that we grew up in the streets with. So we were more like family. So he kind of slowed down, so he was able to come in and do the record with us.
Yeah. Because his performance on there, I think, is excellent and showed
incredible. Yeah.
Because even if you go back to Loc'ed After Dark, he's got a lot of songs.
Yeah.
He's got some hard songs on there. And
oh yeah. He, the thing about Loc, Loc's a real true purist when it comes to like rapping and stuff like that. He's not. He the story be told that he didn't even want to do Wild Thing. You know what I mean? He wanted to do stuff like a lot of the stuff that he was doing on Loc'ed After Dark type of vibe. He didn't really want to do that. But hey, it changed his life. So hey, business is business. But I mean, first, he's into the core stuff. He's not really into the poppy type of stuff. Even though he did kind of music like that, he was more into the Too Shorts, Ice-T, Eazy-E, and W.A., the Bubba Laws, the D.O.Cs. He was into stuff like that. He's more of a purist when it comes to hip hop,
Yeah, that just always always amazed me, because I know we talked about that over the years, but it's always
Yeah.
it's always interesting when people get those unexpected guest verses. You're like, whoa, what is that?
Yeah. Yeah. Because for us, we didn't think we would get him. I mean, he was huge. I mean, Loc was huge. I mean, Loc was world known at the time. He had American Music Awards, Grammys, all that kind of stuff. We was on, we were still a hardcore rap group. We didn't think we would get someone as big as him. Even knowing him, it's just kind of the stars lined up at the time. Because he would have been on both the records. He would have been on all of the records. That's how long we've known Loc. We've known Loc since we started recording Living Like Hustlers. So.
Now, speaking of guest appearances, by '94, with Uncle Sam's Curse, we gotten to the point where those started becoming more and more regular and more often.
Yeah.
But with Living Like Hustlers, Vocally Pimpin', Black Mafia Life, and even Uncle Sam's Curse, you guys didn't go overboard with it like some people were. So why was that?
No, we did, Soren, we did records with people that were our colleagues. Like when we did Call It What You Want, it was because we was hanging with Mun and Pop, you know what I'm saying? And it was just a day at the studio that Shock G didn't show up, and we was like, okay, well, y'all get on the record, let's go. You know what I mean? The beat was hot, tape was rolling, so we're like, let's go. Of course, with different people, right around us, we were already. I think when you have a group, it's real easy to not have features, because me and KMG had such distinctive voices. And then we add cocaine, it seemed like a feature anyway. It would always seem like feature. It would always go organically different places, So I don't think I think it would be overkill if we did that. You know what I mean? For as far as, because we always want to make a point and have a flavor to everything that we did. So if people, if people weren't able to be integrated in that flavor, we would just decline to do records with people. You know what I mean? We just would. We wouldn't want people on it just for, face value, or just, oh yeah, we need him on it because he got a hot record. It had to make sense. Everything had to make sense.
Well, and I think to your guys' credit, you didn't need it. So
right, yeah, I would say that I don't want to be like a person like, oh yeah, what you think? No, we me and KMG, we always felt like if we done that, not that we would be overshadowed, but the point that me and him was trying to make as artists is like, me and him kind of looked at it like, Earth, Wind, and Fire, basically. No one's coming in with Morris Wright and Philip Bate and singing. It's them two voices, what I mean, on all the records. They're trying to make a point. They're not like, oh, well, let's get Michael singing in it. Let's get this, So we felt like that. It wasn't like an arrogant thing for us. It's like, we have a point to make. Every time we making it, you know what I mean? So now if it's an inner thing, fine. So you're right, we didn't need it because the points that we were making, we had a soiree, a gumbo, a variety of sound to give to people that you were going to be very interested for 10 songs or 12 songs,
Absolutely. Well, there it is. Code 187. I appreciate you coming through to Unique Access as always, man. It's always great chopping it up with you, man. Thank you.
Well, thank you, my friend. And you know how we do it.
Be sure to check out the History of Gangster Rap by Soren Baker. He's official.
History of Gangster Rap features exclusive interviews with Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, MC Ren, the D.O.C, and dozens of others. The History of Gangster Rap, a definitive look at how Los Angeles changed rap forever.
In Los Angeles, the streets definitely set the tone of the hip-hop music.
At 19, I got a $50,000 car.
My whole angle always was, I'll be street, but I will always tell you the horrors that go along with this life.
There will be penalties and casualties for just wearing the wrong color in somebody's neighborhood.
And once gangster rap made it from the streets to the TV, the genre exploded.
With Fab 5 on Yo MTV Raps with NWA.
Yo MTV, it just catapulted us from being local heroes to national gangbang rappers.
The History of Gangster Rap discusses it all from 1980 up till today.
It's always gonna be shit happening in the streets. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be something to talk about.
The History of Gangster Rap in stores now.